Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Excellent jam, Suede.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do dede. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello? Ano lay waxal?
Bisul mu fine.
What?
Bisul mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave. Bisul mu fine? Wave. Your money is yours.
On Tuesday, the 2nd of September 2025, I am Peter Gomez, and you're watching Coffee Time on West Coast Radio. Thanks for joining us. Now, in a country where flickering lights and stalled machinery have become part of daily life, the pressure on Nawec has never been greater. Nawec is the National Water and Electricity Company. As communities grapple with unreliable power and rising frustration, we now sit down with Nawec's recently appointed Managing Director, Mr. Gallo Saidy, to understand what's behind the outages, what's being done to restore trust, and how the utility plans to keep the lights on, literally and figuratively. Mr. Saidy.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Welcome to Coffee Time with Peter Gomez.
Thank
An
you.
apology. We made you come here 1 hour earlier than intended.
No, thank you very much. I think when you're at Nawec, there's always something else you can do. You can jiggle it, you know. So it's not a problem at all.
Okay.
I had other things also I could have done. So as you said, there has been some issues with Nawec and still ongoing. You have power outages here and there. But on the positive note, I would like to admit that things have been steady compared to before. So let's move on a positive path. And that is because Nawec is moving incrementally on that positive trajectory to make sure that we provide electricity that is stable, reliable, and also something that can be affordable for a long time, sustainability. So that is where we are heading, and those steps are happening over time. So Nawec is an institution that is very diverse, very deep, and you cannot fix those problems overnight, and you cannot do it alone. So it is a collective effort, not only at Nawec, with government and with the people of the Gambia. So Nawec belongs to all of us, and if we all work together, we can make Nawec, as I have said, and many times, that Nawec could be one of the best utility companies in the sub-region. It could be the go-to company for best practice. So the future is there for Nawec. It's up to us collectively to take that opportunity and make it a better place to be. If you ask me about what's one thing that I want Nawec to be looked at is...
Yeah. Your vision is definitely what we would like to hear about.
Yeah, we want to be very customer-centric, meaning that our customers are satisfied with us, they can trust us, and they can tell others that this is the place to go. The whole Gambia can look into Nawec and say this is the best institution in this country and in the sub-region. So this is the vision, and it's not something that is too far out. It's possible, but like I said before, it is a collective effort, because if Nawec can do whatever they want to do today, it's not going to yield any results if the public don't come on board. For example, very recently, within the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks, we've got about 15 of our boreholes vandalized.
Oh.
Well, I call it sabotage, I call it vandalism, and thieving. 15 out of over 80 boreholes vandalized. And this is infrastructure that we use to provide water to our people. So it's just like what people say, others are digging the hole, others are trying to fill it up. So the Gambia cannot progress like that.
So what's the nature of the vandalism? I mean, why would they vandalize your boreholes? I mean, when someone like me hears a borehole, we think of a deep hole drilled, into the earth in order to extract water from below the surface. So what might vandalists take away from Nawec boreholes?
So a couple of things. We have some instrumentation in our boreholes, in the kiosks. You have a small little building in there. They will go in there and they will steal some of the gadgets in there and also the electrical cables. They will cut them off and take them away. In some instances, they'll just take the cables. Some instances, they will just go there and cut the cables and leave them there.
Oh.
So it's a mix of things. Whether somebody is trying to play games on the fuller man, I don't know. But
that's why you use the word sabotage.
Yeah, that's why I use the word sabotage, because if it is just somebody stealing, they will at least take what they have already removed, but throw it outside and leave it there and go. But then in other areas, they are taking it. Maybe they think they are smart, but hopefully, with the support of the public, the support of government, we will catch these people and then we'll put it to rest. So these are the type of things we need to do together to protect Nawec assets. Some will say that, oh, why didn't you put security
I was going to ask.
It's a good question to ask that. But if you look at the location of our boreholes, over 80 of them, most of them are outside the urban areas, in the forest, but where there is nobody.
If people can get to them, security can be placed there.
Security can be placed there, but it's the logistics. Some of them you cannot even drive there during this time of the year. You can't drive there because they are far off in the bush. That's where you want this borehole. So it's away from the urban congested area that causes contamination of the water ground, just like in the Fajara areas here. We have boreholes there, we had to decommission them because they are already having a lot of nitrates, and that is because people are contaminating the groundwater. So these are some of the problems we have, but government is giving us all the support we need. I'm good to go now.
Yeah.
All right. So this is one of the challenges we have, but as I said before, we are very optimistic. And we can see that there is positivity in even our people. Nawec, I can tell you, have good staff in there. People who want to make a change, add value to this country. And they are working tirelessly 24/7. Maybe people don't notice that, but that's the reality. They are running around and doing all this work while some are sleeping. So we need to acknowledge that first. And also the government, I can tell you, since I've been there, we have 100% support. And that's why we are making some positive steps. And I just want to tell the Gambian people that Nawec is on a path that is going to make a difference in their lives. We want to make sure that there is electricity throughout the Gambia. The president have said it. He wants access. By 2025, end of 2025, we'll get at least 20% coverage in the country for access to electricity. Sorry, 90%.
Exactly. I was going to say, I thought the president said 90. Now the managing director is saying only 20.
I saw your face changing, So that's the fuller man now. But definitely 90% minimum we'll get by the end of the year. So which is a good achievement. And the projects are ongoing. Some of these projects have been delayed. And that's not a government problem. That's just what happens with projects. Some of them get really, really delayed for some different reasons why.
Yeah, but share some of those reasons. Why would they be delayed?
For example, you'll have logistical delays in shipments. Some of them is manufacturing. Some of them is actually incompetence. Some of them is...
On the part of who?
On the part of everybody.
The beneficiary or the benefactor?
Both we who are managing the projects. And that those who are also delivering the project. Sometimes you have issues that you can identify and mitigate, but then when they get too far out, you start to get these delays. But like I said, by the end of the year, we will make sure that 90% of this country have access to electricity.
Why did you want this job?
That's a good question.
Because everybody just disses Nawec, when people are frustrated, when people are showing examples of, state-owned enterprises that are not working, that are not delivering, you always have Nawec top of the list. So nobody, would seem to want such a job. But then Gallo Saidy accepts the job.
Well, there are few things that drive me. And one is to make a difference in the life of my people, number one. Number two is I am trusted by the leader. He wants me to come and add value. I didn't apply for the job. If you ask me today, I probably would be doing much better where I was than where am I now. But at the end of the day, two things. One, we all will live this life, and whatever we are going to take with us is the difference we've made in people's lives. And Nawec is that one institution where whatever you do that adds value gives you that advantage. And those are the type of drivers for me. It's not the money. The noise out there, the criticisms, that's just human nature. It is what's not nice that makes news. But we are doing very, very well, and we are going to own the narrative very soon, because we are going to make sure that we tell people the good things that we are also doing. So you ask me, why do I want this job? Because I want to help the Gambian people.
And when the president called you, or whoever it was, but I suppose the call, would have come from State House, to suggest that, we are thinking of making you Nawec MD. What did they say? And what did you say back in response?
Okay, I will not maslaha the answer. I'll give you the answer, right?
Okay, you're from St. Augustine's. We don't know maslaha.
I am from St. Augustine's, and one of the stubborn ones, Anyway, I actually didn't know that I am going into this job until the day when I was asked to go to the State House in the evening. That's when I know about it. Yeah. So the circumstances around it is history, but that's how I knew about it. And it took some time to sink. But in life, you have people who look up to you and they trust you, and you don't want to let them down. So that's it.
So the president trusts you?
I believe so. I think he trusts me.
Okay. You sat with him, or you sat with the chief of staff? Who did you sit with at State House?
For this particular position?
Yes.
When I was asked to go and get this job?
Yes.
I was asked to go and get my letter, and I went there, and then I'm going to be the MD of Nawec.
Okay.
And guess what?
What?
My wife called me. Did you plan this and you hide it from me? Is it true? I said, what? In social media is this? I said, yeah.
It was out in social media even
before
you got your letter.
Yeah.
Somebody in State
before
House.
I know about it.
Somebody in State House is good at leaking information.
Well, I won't call it leak, but that's just human nature. Yeah. So.
Somebody knows, they whisper in.
Well, even me, you tell me something today, I don't tell somebody else. I tell my friend, and he also went, and so it goes round,
Okay.
So that's just nature. Yeah.
All right. And what was the reception like the first day you reported at Nawec as MD? Were you already in the system? Were you working with or for Nawec?
No, I had my own company that I was running.
But working with Nawec?
I would say not directly.
Okay.
So we were doing some pipe works.
So you came in as an outsider, if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. So what was the reception like?
What would I call it? Maybe a bit of skepticism and surprise. Like I said, this is just instantaneous.
Yes.
So
it's human nature.
People will be surprised. Some will be very happy that know me. Some will be not too sure. Some will be doubters. That's just life, you know. When change comes, you have different parts of different beliefs. So,
And
but
you've
overall, I'm okay.
You've been there how long now? How many months? Not yet a year.
No, 1 year.
Oh, 1 year.
I started end of March last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've celebrated my 4th anniversary.
Okay. Yeah. Have you grown any extra gray hairs since then because of the scale of the job?
Well, gray hair, how would I put it? I have many gray hairs. Every day I'm growing one.
Because of Nawec?
Because of Nawec, you know. No, Nawec is an institution where you have to be on top of things.
And what's been the greatest challenge so far?
Okay, the greatest challenge I would say we rather than I have, is the issue around this vandalism. One big challenge. Because, for example, you go and damage an infrastructure. It takes a lot of resources to bring that back on. That's one challenge. The other challenge is around forex. Whatever we are buying, nearly close to 80% of our procurements are foreign exchange. So if your dollar is depreciating against that foreign exchange,
which it is,
and your tariff, your selling price is stagnant, is at one point, it means there's a gap creation, right? And that is continuous. So that's a big challenge too. So forex gap increasing is a big challenge, and the tariff is at one point. And it is government who is coming in to support us to fill that gap. Otherwise, Nawec wouldn't survive. Otherwise, we have to increase tariffs so that it reflects the cost of sales, right? But I think we are doing well. The other challenge I would say is regarding capacity. I think in the Gambia here, the young ones that are coming up, we need to make sure that people are well trained. You know, when I mean trained, I mean hands-on, not just a master of science in a paper. Yeah. Because the paper is just a paper, but it's what you do with the paper that matters. And that capacity building, it's one area that we have to improve on a lot, making sure that people are trained for what's relevant for the outcomes that we want. If you ask me, the other challenge we have today is demand. The Gambia is growing very fast. And that's a good thing. You know, if a country is stagnant, that's not a good sign. And the Gambia actually is really growing. And we have to catch up and actually grow ahead of demand. If not, we'll always be here talking about outages and transformer overloads, lack of water. So as long as demand is going up, we have to make sure we catch up and overtake demand. And that's why we are planning within the next 10, 15, 30 years' time, not planning for today, but for tomorrow, so we can be ahead of this issue with demand. When you build roads, people will come, right? And if you look at the GBA area now, it's basically saturated. And the systems that are there, the infrastructure that's there right now, most of that was not designed for what is that is there now. So you have those challenges. Why some areas, there are particular transformers that at peak time, you will see they have to go and load shed because it's too much demand on them. So those are the type of challenges we are getting. But the good thing is there are lots of projects that are happening right now that are going to help us overcome most of those challenges.
Hopefully we'll discuss some of those projects in greater detail when we get to the listeners' questions later on. We focus mainly when we talk about Nawec only on the water and electricity side. But there's a third component to Nawec. Sadly, only exists in Banjul. That's the sewage aspect. What can you tell us about that? I mean, Banjul now looks very nice with, you know, all the rehabilitation work having been completed. What about the sewage project?
Okay, the sewage in Banjul, I think that's where I started my career.
That's where you started your career?
My first job was in Banjul in 1986 with the company called Sobea at the time.
Sobea, I remember very well.
They had a company, they had a subcontractor called Irish & Co. Mm-hmm. That's where I started my career.
Oh, very well. So, your relationship with Nawec goes back, huh?
So I basically know, I've been into every property in Banjul in those days.
Okay.
We did all the sewer pipe works. Actually, the defects liability period, I was in charge of that. Even the sea outfall pipe, I was the one who tested it for commissioning.
Interesting.
So I know that system very well. In those days, experience, before the sewerage system, it used to be, I don't want to use this word, but they used to call Dadikama. I don't know whether you remember that.
Yeah.
In Banjul before they had.
I was born in Banjul. So
there you go. So we had to go and walk under those conditions until the sewerage system is completed. That system need to continue. So it was a bit of a challenge. But today, the lines are all there. The infrastructure is there. It was designed mainly for residential. But if you look at Banjul today, people are moving out. So it's become more commercial and industrial. So the sewerage system infrastructure is still okay. It's under a contract right now, under the contractor who was doing the roads. And that component involves trying to fix the areas that are damaged, to go and fix those pipes. Also rehabilitate the pumping stations that are in Albion and also at Gambia High School. And then the sea outfall pipe, which currently have a problem. But again, those are not major problems, because if they have blockages, there is a team there who will go and remove the blockages. It's a very robust system, gravity feed with 2 pump stations. The sea outfall pipe would be just the challenge that is there right now to be fixed. Okay.
And what purpose does it serve? Because, I mean, we heard in the past that, léegi soo tuuree ndox sax ndox mi du dem because pipes yi dañ tuuti bi nga xam ne lu tuuti sa ñu block.
No, it's not the size of the pipes. It's what they put in the pipes.
Okay.
So this...
What measures are, put in by this contractor if anything has been put in place to make sure that even when people intentionally put things that are not meant to be there, they don't get as far in the piping system as to block it at a point where it becomes very difficult to unblock?
Okay, so some of these pipes, they have what you call the laterals from the main pipes from the streets into the properties. So most people now, well, I wouldn't say most people, some people will dump their waste into these chambers that collect this waste. So if you have like nappies and stuff getting into those pipes, even sometimes before it gets to the main, you get partial blockages. So people need to not dump rubbish in those facilities. If they don't do that, then the system will be free. So this is where I talked about collective responsibility. Systems are designed for a particular purpose. So it's not for transportation of solid waste. It's for transportation of wastewater, right? So
can't they be made smart enough that to the point where it connects to the main, or that maybe you have some kind of sieve, so that if any solid comes along, it blocks there, and then when it blocks the user's end, the blockage is only at their own. It only inconveniences them, because I can't be careless and then affect everybody else with my own carelessness.
Okay, the way the system is designed, it will be very difficult to do that. If I can tell you, in Banjul, the water table is very high. In some areas, it's even close to less than a meter.
Yes.
So, and some of these pipes are up to 2, 3.
I come from Afdai, so I know very well.
Exactly. So if you have that pipe all the way down to the ground, the way they are designed, if it is blocked in there, you have to come and pressure wash it, put some water through it and blow it out, and then let it flow through the system. That's how you can do it. You cannot put an intervention in the pipe to block them off. I think education would be one way to do it, to inform the people that, look, this is what the system is meant for, And this is what it is not meant for. If you do X, Y, Z, this is why you will have this problem. Maybe that's where we should be going, educate the public.
Okay, and you spoke about some of the challenges. I mean, for years and years, coming now to water and electricity, for years we heard that, the supply around the Latrikunda secondary school, or is it what now, upper basic school end, where you have the Q cells, the GAM cells, that's been problematic. Have you been able to take care of that problem? Because I remember when I was hosting the Nawec hour here, for years, every week it came on. Every week it came on. There was one particular client, I don't mind naming him, Sheikh Tijan Nyang. He would call us every evening, around Nyunsun area, because that's where he had his school and his office at the time.
Okay, the realities are there are some clusters within the GBA that are having challenges with water.
And nothing can be done about them just yet?
Not immediately. But there are plans to fix these problems once and for all. There are projects, like I said, in place. There was a project which is funded through the French government, the EU, EIB, and the French government providing some funds to do some reticulation works within the GBA area. Also, we have boreholes coming on. We have the OIC project, which is close to 900 cubic meters of water per hour. We have an intervention borehole funded by the World Bank, which is called in Brikama area, about 6 boreholes. So overall, there are lots of projects happening right now. If those mature by the end of 2025, mid-2026, I can assure you most of these problems will be gone. And we are not only waiting for external projects, we are also doing our own interventions. Like if you ask the NAM from Bundung, there was an area in Bundung that was also equally having similar problems, but we intervened and solved that problems. So it's small steps, but positive steps. We are fixing the problems, but it cannot be overnight. And if you ask me, 2 years' time, most of these problems will be history.
And you spoke about the future. Again, when I was hosting the Nawec Hour, one explanation often, that was given whenever the issue of, water came up was, where we have boreholes now, when we were putting them there 20, 30 years ago, nobody even wanted to live around those areas. Now, we have some people even claiming that the boreholes are, part of their land and all of that. In the meantime, urbanization has meant that, there's contamination, all right? And some of these boreholes, you can't use them like you were able to do before. Where you currently have your boreholes, where you claim that even to get to, is difficult, let alone want to station, security there. Is there anything you can do to ensure that no matter, all right, the movement of people around those areas, they will be secure enough to make sure that the water is not contaminated because people live too close?
Okay. So, contamination of groundwater is a difficult one to manage. Nawec boreholes, we can fence them. We can say even 100 meters by 100 meters, what you call exclusion zones. Yeah. We can do that. But even if people are living, say, 500 meters away, the groundwater is the same groundwater. There's connectivity across. So if the groundwater is contaminated, it can still affect our boreholes. So urbanization is one challenge. However, the Gambia have a very good water source, which is the groundwater here is very, very good. And what we are encouraging is people not to be dumping rubbish around the areas. If people stop dumping around those areas, it will mitigate some of those problems for us. The septic tanks, the way they are designed, some septic tanks, it goes through a treatment process, and the effluent, which is the remaining water, goes through filtration, natural filtration through the ground. So it may not have that big impact, but if you have too many urbanization within a particular cluster of a borehole with dumps and everything, that's a big threat. So again, collective responsibility, let's not dump around our boreholes. Nawec borehole facilities, that's the way you get your water. So don't put your rubbish there, because you'll be drinking it again.